Yep, the 4K up in this mug.
And we are live. What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. This is Tyson with Copper Johns, and this is Vinny P.
What's up?
And today, I'm looking forward to this conversation. Vinny is drained, and rightfully so. We're going on day 21.
Yeah,
Dude, that's nuts.
yeah. It gets like that sometimes in this job. So I'm
It
in the
really
oil and
does.
gas industry, so
I think
it's
we're
just like that.
live.
Uh, if we are, maybe I need to refresh this.
Okay, now we're live. It just threw me off. I'm like, wait a sec. Live happens live, man. But
Yep,
no, let's say hi to everyone before we introduce you, and then kind of tell everyone what the Copper Lodge is. And
yeah,
then
for sure.
I'm looking forward to this just because I have so much respect for you and what you do and who you are. It's just like you don't hold back. And I
No,
think
it's
that's
not my
special.
style.
I know. And I like that. Like I was telling you today, I've met a lot of successful entrepreneurs today. And everything that was common with them is they just told you how it is, like who they are. They this is my problems. This is what I'm facing in life today, and it was amazing. And it really reminds me of a lot of the guys that we have in this community that are just more
Yeah,
willing to be vulnerable and express their concerns, express their love, express their tragedies and their mental health. So this is really cool. So uh
absolutely.
we'll just start and say what's up. We love Santa. We love Vinny P. We love Santa Tom. What's up, Dino? How you doing, Michael H? Viking Papa. His name is Jeffrey, and I just kept in the last life. I'm like, can I just call you Jeff? Because Viking Papa, I feel weird saying that. But that's what his grandchildren call him. What's up, JP?
Nice.
Oh, speaking of, you guys noticed the tackle for 15% off. So I have a tackle box, and every time that code is used, I will put a product of Copper Johns in that tackle box. Once it is full, we will do a giveaway with the peoples who had purchased using that code. JP is one of those people who just purchased with that code, and so I will be doing
Nice.
more formal presentation of it tomorrow. But I just want to let you guys know what that was scrolling down. What's up, Jordan? Hope you're doing well. Brant, Mr. Jason Esser, Joshua. Hey, I think you know this guy, right?
Oh yeah, G Lou, what's going on, buddy?
How you doing, Gary? We got Amber. Hope you're doing well, Amber. Vinny P is my spirit animal. Garrett, how you doing, buddy? Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. How you doing? Ken, I just saw your review on Nepali. He helped me out with Nepali, and
Nice.
when he helped me and he had aspirations for how good it will be, and he loves it, makes me happy.
Heck yeah.
What's up, Chris? Hope you're doing well. Corey says hi. How you doing, Corey? Gabe, haven't seen you for a minute. Hope you're doing well. Twitch is going to be on the on Copper Lodge on the 24th, so in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
I know. I think he has a cool story, and
Oh
he's
yeah,
an
that's a good
amazing
dude right
human.
there,
So
for
yeah, what's
sure.
up, Baker? I'm just trying to go down. Yes. Oh no, that just that is a 1,000% Vinny P, 100%. Hey, Brad, again, if you guys haven't or if not following Bearded Brad, go give him a follow. He is amazing. Has amazing fish content, and he seems like there has a lot of run-ins with the fishing game. I swear. What's up, Jacob? Just got a new set in the mail today. Definitely a great one. Melissa is in love with it, as she should be. All right, so Vinny, I am going to do this. It's about a minute long. I apologize to everyone, but I really want you guys to know what Copper Lodge is all about. Today, Vinny P and I, or Vinny and I, are going to be discussing mental health. We're talking about Vinny's struggles. Is that okay if I say it? Just
Absolutely.
and what he's been going through this past year, and it's been rough. And I miss, if you haven't noticed, Vinny isn't always around, and it's been rough. And so I want everyone to know what Copper Lodge is about and why we have it, because this isn't necessarily about Copper Johns. Even though I have something scrolled down, I just want you guys to know it. I'm going to push play. Hopefully, we don't lose any of you guys, because this is really what Copper Lodge is about. So give me 1 second, and here we go.
Hey there, amazing folks. At Copper Lodge, we believe that true connections are built on understanding and shared experiences. That's why we're beyond excited to launch our series of intimate interviews with community members like you. We're here to root for you, cheer you on, and celebrate your unique story. Whether you're a longtime community member, a business owner, an artist, or just someone with an interesting perspective, we want to hear from you and share your incredible journey. Our interviews are all about showcasing the vibrant tapestry of our community and highlighting the amazing individuals who call Copper Johns home. By sharing your stories, we believe we can inspire and connect with each other on a deeper level. So, if you're interested in being interviewed or know someone who would be a perfect fit, give us a shout at info@copperjohnsbeard.com. We can't wait to hear from you and share your story with the world. Join us at Copper Lodge, where community shines brighter together.
All right, Vinny. Why don't you give everyone an introduction of who you are and a little bit about your background?
Well, what's going up? Most of you guys know who I am, Vinny P. Man, who I am. Well, before anything, like I just spoke with you, I am a husband and a father. I love being a dad more than anything in this world. You know what? I like lifting things up and putting them down. Other than that, I'm a pretty simple person. Um, and to be perfectly honest with you, just like so many people who I've heard either speaking with you or commenting in the comments, um, and for a lot of you who probably go through the same things and have never said anything, I have my own battles. A lot of people see me and they think I'm just this happy-go-lucky guy and everything's perfect in life, but it's not reality. And typically, when you think somebody is always happy, they're probably one of the ones that struggle the most. Um, so I will simply say that never be afraid to reach out and just ask how somebody's doing, because you never know. You never know. I spoke with Tyson at one point, and it was the first time I ever really said anything to anybody, and it really opened me up to speaking. Maybe not necessarily throwing so much out there, but enough that it made it known to many people that I have battles just like the rest of you. And it's not just been this year; it's pretty much been since I was about 9 years old.
And whatever, if I ask something that's too much, just say, "Hey, Tyson, that's too much." We'll all respect that. This is a non-judgmental zone, I promise.
You judge me, man. No, you're good.
No, I'll judge you, and
you're good.
you're amazing. That's why we're doing this. I think you have such a presence about yourself. And mind you, I've never met you in person except March. We're gonna get after you if you don't show up, because it's only a couple hours.
No, like I said, just keep me posted, man. Keep me posted. Let me know where it's at when you find out the city.
I will. We'll have to find out from Will, but you have such a presence, just like a physical presence, and so you have this confidence. You portray confidence, but yet, like you said, you have your own bouts of depression. You have your own mental health struggles. So, can you share what led to those challenges, if anything?
You know what?
Or something that you've always done?
In all honesty, I don't completely know. Like I said, this started for me the first time I truly said to myself, I don't want to be here. I was just a little kid. I was only about 9 years old. And Man, you know what? Like, I didn't have a charmed childhood or anything like that. We grew up with a big family in a very small place in a very rough neighborhood. But I did have a mom who was one of those people that just did everything that she possibly could. And, you'd think that was enough, but it was just one of those things for me. And I mean, I had some stuff that had happened to me before then, with a person who was brought in, um, did some things they probably shouldn't have done to a child. Uh, but that I can't even say that that affected me, because it affected me later on in life. Trying to like pursue relationships and stuff. I was actually really afraid, um, because of stuff like that. As a child, I really couldn't tell you honestly, because I was an active kid. Played a lot of
Mhm.
sports. I had older brothers, younger brothers, and we were always. I mean, God, we were squad deep. There was never a time where I wasn't around probably 20 people at a time. And it just, like I said, it was just one of those things, and it's always been there. And I never know when it's going to be severely active. And of course, throughout my life, there's been other things that triggered it. Um, it's actually kind of funny. Um, Behind me, where you can't really see much of it, but you can see some. I have
You can
a
see some.
massive, yeah, I have a massive gun wall over here, and
Holy crap! Yes, you do.
a lot of those are pretty expensive or really nice guns. But there's one gun up there in particular, which is just a piece of crap. But I won't get rid of it. And uh, something that I just recently kind of shared with my daughter, who's 15, when she was about 2 years old. Um, that was the gun I was about to take my life with, and she walked in when I had it in my mouth, and it just stopped me in my tracks. And I don't know, and I couldn't even tell you why. It was just one of those things. Like, I just knew I didn't want to be here, and I've never really been open about it. You know, like
Well, take your times.
even with my wife, I couldn't tell her like what was wrong because I didn't know. You know, and it's not even the first time she experienced it. Um, I'm not like a really big religious person or anything. Um, but I guess I was about maybe 20 years old or so. And me and my wife had just kind of started talking, dating, whatever you want to call it. Um, and I drove out to the beach one night, took about 100 pills, and just went to sleep. Somehow or another, I woke up. You know, um, other than a crap load of missed texts and phone calls, I was totally fine.
Hmm.
Don't really know how, but I was. It's one of those crazy things. So it's like I think about some of these things, and it's like there's got to be some kind of reason. Same thing with this heart attack. I mean, like 8% of people live through it. And I sat for 45 minutes telling my wife, no, I'm fine. Yet here I am.
Yeah. The one thing
I don't know.
I was talking to a gentleman. I was telling you before. It's not my story, but I'll tell everyone this is he's worth billions, and he I mean literally he's worth billions, and he suffered just like you, like from childhood, and it's just everything he's always known. And when he got married, he even told his wife, he was like, "Hey, I suffer from this," and she's like, "We will suffer together, and we'll work through this." And so he made his first million. He sold his first company and made millions and millions and millions. He said, "Okay, I'm going to be happy now." He wasn't happy, and then he became
No, man.
entrepreneur of the year. Like for I can't remember what it was called. He's like, "Okay, I'm going to be happy now." Wasn't happy. Sold his second company worth billions. Wasn't happy. And it's just like there's things just suck sometimes. And
They do.
one thing that I learned today is having a conversation is wonderful. Me telling you, Vinny, I love you, man, is wonderful. But actually showing you I love you is more powerful. And so some of the things that I've learned throughout the years is I'm just going to be there. Like with my kids that are struggling, no words are going to fix you.
Nope.
But I'm going to be here and just love you no matter what. And I think we're all grateful that they didn't work for you, man. So is this something
Yeah.
that's always been? Is this just normal for you? Like, do you remember a time when you weren't depressed?
So it's not like it's kind of weird. Um, it's not like I go through every day,
I
hating my
understand that
life or anything
completely.
like that, because I have a great life. I have a really good career that lets me provide for my family. It lets my wife stay home with the kids. I have three wonderful children. I have a wife who supports me in literally anything I do. And she has put up with my crap for nearly 20 years. And, I want for nothing, and
Still comes
like I
on.
said, it does. And it's one of those things you don't even, some days you can't even try to begin to understand it. And other days, it might be a trigger from either something that happened or, um, there's certain days like my older brother died from the same heart attack that I had.
Oh
And
wow, I didn't know that.
there's stuff like that. Or even though I can't say I never met him. I just don't remember him. Like my dad, he was killed 2 days before my fifth birthday. And so I don't remember him at all. If I didn't have a picture, I wouldn't even know what he looked like. But there's times where like I'm sitting with my son or doing something with my son, and I ask myself, like, can I teach him how to be a man the way I'm supposed to, given how I grew up, and it's like little things like that sometimes you'll trigger it. Or I'll think about, which is so silly to say, it sounds so selfish, but like doing stuff with him, and I'll think about like the future, whether it's sports or talking about girls or just whatever it is, teaching him how to shave. Hopefully he doesn't, but just all the stuff like that I didn't get to experience, and sometimes that'll be a trigger. It's just there's just a bunch of little things. And like I said, I didn't have the greatest childhood outside of knowing that I had a great mom, but I grew up in a really messed up area. Like, I mean, I smoked crack for the first time at 13 years old.
Oh
It's
wow.
just that's the kind of childhood that I had. And it was a lot of violence, a lot of gang stuff. I
What part of Houston
carried my first gun
did you
around
grow up
then.
in?
I actually grew up northeast of Philadelphia in a town called
Oh, okay.
Wilkes-Barre. Yeah, I'm not a true Texan.
Well, you are now. You have the truck.
Yeah, and I've been here longer than I was there. So when I was 16, uh, when I was 16 years old, I my probation officer told me that if I left, he would let me off. I was on probation indefinitely for assault with a deadly weapon,
Mm.
and it was the weirdest thing. Um, I had a Penn State jacket, and I wore it to school one day. I was in a vocational school because I got kicked out of regular school, and he had an office there, and this was the only time he ever seen me walk in with that jacket, and it was like two different people at that point. He went from this tough guy routine, always giving me the BS, and I walk in with that jacket on, and he was like my best friend, and that was the day he told me that. And so, adios, I left.
Yeah, he's like Baker's like, wow, 45 minutes, not a great area.
Yeah, no.
But like yesterday, I started getting extremely depressed. Like I don't suffer anywhere. I still suffer, but it's we all suffer differently. And
Of
I
course.
was telling Candace, I'm like, why am I so depressed? She's like, you're meeting some important people tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, and I feel so inadequate. Like it's the truth. Like I felt inadequate meeting these people. Then I meet them, and I'm like, holy crap, you guys are amazing and so welcoming and so kind. But it's just like, but it, you get in your head for some reason. It's just I don't know what
You
triggers it.
do. You do. And it's some I get that. I really do. Like I see a lot of these athletes and stuff like that, along with these pro strongmen and things of that nature. And I'm like, I could never be that. I can never be that.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes like, so you're talking about my presence, right? And I've heard this a lot, especially people who have been around me. talk about this presence that I have, and it's always so baffling to me because a lot of that presence isn't just this very large presence, but a lot of people think I'm like this very confident individual. And I might be confident in my ability to be violent when I need to, and things of that nature. I usually walk into a room feeling like there's not anybody in there I have to worry about. But as far as being confident in myself, whether it's physically, appearance wise or personality wise, like I'm probably one of the least confident people you ever meet. Like I don't even hang around my house without a shirt on. I'm
Really?
just not comfortable. I'm not comfortable doing it. I'm just not.
See, and I don't either. For the same reason. But your
Yeah.
body structure, my body structure are a tad different. Where
Well, see, that's just
my
it. Is
boobies go down and yours go up.
And I think it's one of those things because most of my life I was a heavy guy.
Okay.
I was a chunky fella.
You're
It
definitely
wasn't
not
until,
now.
well, it wasn't until after I had my daughter, my first daughter, and I was pushing, 290 some pounds, not muscle at all. I didn't work out or anything. I was just a fat guy.
Yeah.
And my brother, who was also a hefty individual, is the one that actually convinced me to go to the gym. And I was like, dude, there's no way. I'm not going.
That
Like
was
a
a
place like the
question.
gym. Oh,
Garrett wanted to know, Vinny, is mental health issues you deal with what led you to working out? I know working out
um,
is a big stress relief and music.
So what's weird is it's not what led me to working out. What led me to working out was I was tired of being a fat guy. My brother convinced me to get in the gym, and when I did, I got bit, and I got bit hard. But I was 100% into the whole bodybuilding thing. Like I wanted to look like that. So that's what I pursued,
That's what I
and
had too.
it was probably the biggest mistake ever because after I did my very first show, I felt worse than I ever had in my entire life. And the way that I train now, this obsession that I have for being like, instead of looking like I can lift the Buick, I want to lift the Buick.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is my doctor after the heart attack, my cardiologist told me not to train heavy. He's like, you can't do it. And that triggered something in my head like, excuse me, I what, I can't do it. I don't like the word can't, so I did it. And
There you go.
when I say I got bit hard, but it was because of what it did for my mental health. When I am in the gym and I'm just throwing around some weights, getting a good workout in, whatever, it's just a workout. But when I go in there and I try to pull 900 pounds off the floor, um, it does something completely different. uh, I always say this: my head is like a high school cafeteria turned up to 11. But in those moments, when I'm doing one of those lifts and I put it back down, it feels like an hour, but I know it's only, just a few seconds of total silence where everything just seems balanced. And
Facts.
yeah, it's just wild. And I think
Yeah,
that's why I continue to do it so hard.
when my youngest daughter was born, um, we didn't know what was wrong with her. She breathed in can like she was a C-section and healthy baby, but she breathed in Candace's bodily fluid, like her blood and everything, as the doctor lifted her out differently. So when her first breath was all fluid, and it got her really, really sick, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong. And so they just guessed. And that was the most stressed at that time I've ever been in my entire life. I'm like, I'm about to
Oh,
lose
I
my
bet.
daughter. And I
I bet.
remember my brother drugged me to the gym, and like he dragged me and dragged me, and I didn't want to go. And then as soon as I got there, I was like, thanks, I needed this.
Yeah.
You don't realize how much it just really just it clears your mind. And but yeah, now she's great, little cute little
Heck yeah.
hellion. But
Aren't they all, man? Aren't they
yeah.
all?
um
But
so
what's funny too is I've actually seen people in the comments ask about this the lifting thing after heart attacks or heart surgeries. There's been a few who have commented, and I got to tell you, I'm not gonna sit here and say don't ever listen to your doctor and whatever else. But if you have a doctor that's just a doctor, just get your checkups and mind your business. But unless you have a doctor that is a human being, who talks to you, goes through the ins and outs, because I was told all of that stuff, and then after doing everything pretty much that they told me not to do, I would have, him and all of his, I don't remember what they call them, but it's like his like intern people or whatever, and whatever else coming in, like asking all these questions, like, what the heck are you doing? Like everything looks so good and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you remember all that stuff on that list you told me not to do? That's pretty much what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So,
No, I love that. I do have a question for you. So, have you
absolutely.
ever so for your depression and stuff like that, have you ever sought therapy? Have you ever sought
No,
looking for anyone? Why not?
I haven't, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Whenever whenever I was younger and I got that whole issue happened that got me put on probation, I had to do a psych eval. And when I tell you I lost it on these people, like I couldn't handle someone that I don't know and don't trust going into that kind of personal space.
Okay.
And I think had I been an adult at that time, I probably would have killed this guy. It just, when I say it made me snap, I mean it made me snap.
Hmm.
And it was a time that I found out some really interesting stuff about myself. There's there's apparently like 14 or 15 markers of serial killers. Some of them they're odd things um, like pyromaniac, being a late bedwetter, just really strange things. And I hit all of them but one,
Oh wow.
and which was cruelty to animals. I've never been one for being cruel to animals. Um, and that was the only one I missed on, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool to know. I don't want to talk to you anymore because I'm not doing this. Like I'm
So
about
note
to
to
beat
self:
you
don't
up,
pick
but
you up on the in the street with a hitchhiker.
but it's crazy, and honestly, like I think growing up the way that I did and being that person, because like I said, there was a lot of violence. There's a lot of things that I did to people that I wish I didn't do, um, and some of it was just so stupid, you know. I mean, just
But we grow.
the kind. I
That,
mean, it's the kind of ignorance though that makes you want to just like smack somebody and say, "What the heck is wrong with you?"
mhm.
I remember as a kid watching a younger group of kids walk past, and they're a year or two younger than me and my friends, and the dumbest thing, they like walk past and hit their shoulder on the shrub in front of the house and knocked a bunch of leaves onto the sidewalk, and I made them get on their knuckles on the concrete and do push-ups until they couldn't do it anymore. They're like, their hands were cut up and they're crying and all this stuff, and like, who does stuff like that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I feel like as I got older, you know, I got that first taste of what it was like to really help somebody instead of trying to go the other way. And just to see someone's day or even life completely change from something, I mean, it could be something, whether it's monetary or just helping, you know, verbally having a conversation, whatever it is, when you see that change in someone, it genuinely does something to you. And it's it's definitely been something that I think has helped me as well.
Yeah, I think helping people and serving people. Today, there was a lecture by a gentleman named Chad, and he's a quadriplegic. And he owns the Guinness World Book of Records as the only quadriplegic that travels alone. He's been to 89
Oh wow.
countries. Yeah, he's been to 89 countries.
Dang.
He's trained himself to only use the restroom every other day. He can give himself a
Good
catheter.
Lord.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff so that he can take care of it. And he just basically just said about just being grateful and looking at the world as, instead of an I me, look at it as I get to, or all this kind of stuff. I get to
Hmm.
be with you. I get this human interaction with you, and I think that's one thing that I've noticed about you is you are not the person that you were before. Like you're talking about all
No.
this violence, I'm just like, dude, that's not you now. You look at you look at all these CEOs, and I've been reading a lot lately about being a good leader, being like because when I start hiring, like I really want to create a culture that is loving, that is kind, that is hardworking, but at the same time we're all supporting each other. And so I really want to create that. And one thing I learned is like look at Steve Jobs. 1.0 was all about you do this, you do this, and you're fired. You get all this like Trump. And then now you have the second go around where he's innovative and he's listening to people and he's trusting people and delegating and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, this is Vinny 2.0. Vinny is killing it now. Like Vinny is absolutely just killing life. And even though you're struggling, like we all see it. And I think it's really cool.
I appreciate you, man. I really do.
Yeah, well, dude, it's true. So when did you realize that this is a problem? Like when did you come from your kids and like, oh, this isn't normal. This is not what normal people look think about. And once you realize it, what happened?
Probably that day when my daughter walked in,
Oh, okay.
because my thought was, what if she was 2 seconds later? What if she was 2 seconds later and she found me in a completely different way? What would that have done to her for the rest of her life?
Destroyed her.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And as her father, that's not what I'm supposed to do. You know, uh, I'm supposed to be on the other side of that. I'm supposed to be guiding her and making sure that her future is everything she could ever want it to be and more, not destroying it. And that definitely changed my perspective of it. It didn't keep me from doing anything stupid or thinking anything stupid over the next 10, 12 years, but it definitely helped me try to work through it.
Sorry, man.
No, you're good.
Don't judge me.
It definitely helped me try to work through it.
But yeah, this is my deal. My problem is it's like I forget to eat because I'm down in the lab so long, and then all this kind of stuff, and so it's just like my metabolism is shot. I've gained 60 pounds since I started Copper Johns.
Jeez.
Like I've actually started working out as a what the freak. I started working out again on Monday, and today's
Nice.
workout killed me, like I told you about.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like, from what you were saying, it sounded like a pretty intense thing.
Dude, it was fun though.
And
I
that's
will say this:
definitely something that I want to get back to.
my butt, I feel like it's popping right now. It's like, I'm like, hello, Candace. Just give it a little squeeze.
Oh Lord. Oh man, the pump is real.
Yeah, dude, it is no freaking joke. Yeah, right.
I need to get back in the gym for sure.
I still want to work out with you. I
Oh,
just want to hang out with you,
100%.
man. I could do a road trip and just like hit all the national parks and I don't know. That just sounds really fun to me.
Definitely, dude. Definitely. You're definitely one of those people, like I've told you a million times. There's just there's so much more to you than Copper Johns,
I
and
appreciate that.
I know from someone who hears the same thing, from yourself or whoever else, it's not that easy to see all the time, but
And it's hard to
you
accept.
are it is. It is, but you're definitely an amazing human being. You're someone who I am definitely proud to call my brother.
Absolutely. I feel the same. All right, so let's talk about this. So, how important is your support system? You talked about your daughter. Obviously, you're being vulnerable now with your wife. That probably wasn't a thing in the past, but now you're telling her how
No.
you feel.
Yep.
How has talking and communicating with your wife and sharing those sharing that with your daughter. Like that's probably like that. Like that's probably scary for her, but at the same time, I mean, it's okay to be vulnerable with your children. So how
Yeah,
was that
I honestly, I
accepted,
think you
and
should be.
how does that help you?
Um, well, it's helped a lot, really. I think the biggest thing is it helped with her fear. Um, there's been a constant fear from that day on. Because, like I said, wasn't 100% sure what happened. Just knew that something happened, and it caused a major rift in our relationship for about a solid year.
Hmm.
And having the kind of communication that's there now, I think eliminates a lot of that fear, which obviously is going to change the way things are, on a day-to-day basis. When you don't have that worry, or I'm sure it's still there. I mean, it's still, it still goes on in the back of my head too, of course. But and like I said before, she's I don't know, man, she's a ride or die.
Hmm.
She's one of those people. It's
I've
just
never seen a picture of her. I never talked to her. One day we'll have to get her on.
I don't know that that'll ever happen, but I'll give it a
She's
shot.
candid. She's my wife too. She's like,
100%, yeah.
yeah.
Yes, very,
She's
very
like,
much
I
so.
love that you love this, but it's not for me.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Uh,
If introvert was a person, that's my wife.
so how'd you guys meet? I've never asked you that.
We actually met at a party. Funny enough, mutual friend. Um, I was gonna leave, wasn't really feeling the whole party thing, and she was like, "Oh, no, 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 my friend's coming. I want you to meet her. Just hang out." And I almost left because I got tired of waiting. And then she convinced me to hang out a little bit longer, so I did. And when she actually got there, I swear she was in her freaking car for another 40 minutes. So I'm like, "Dad, I'm over this, dude. I'm out of here." Then she got out, and that was the first night we actually met, and hung out at a couple of different events like that. Actually, funny enough, she stood me up the first time I asked her out.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, she
Hey,
sure
fun
did.
story. I need you just to talk. I dropped my battery. I took the battery out to see if I can make it colder, and I just dropped the battery on the floor, and it's underneath the desk. So
Nice.
enjoy entertaining everyone. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, you're okay. So yeah, I still actually give her crap about it to this day. I'll never let her live it down. And we uh we finally went out, but she only agreed to do it if another mutual friend went with us. And after that, we had a wicked
She fell in love
hurricane
with you.
come through. We had a wicked hurricane come through, and we evacuated. And oh man, I think we had probably it had to be $1,500 phone bills after that, because we were on the phone constantly, and it was just insane with the all the cell stuff going on because of the hurricane. And the day we got back, it was September 24th. She came to my house, and that was the day we officially got together. And 1 year to the day we got married.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, and this
That's
year will
really
be 18 years married.
and that's an accomplishment because that's not easy.
Yeah, it's funny actually. I knew right away. I knew pretty much immediately within the first week or so. And she told me I was infatuated. It
Well, of
wasn't real.
course.
It was just infatuation. It wasn't real. Here we are, like I said, 18 years of marriage this year in September, and 3 kids later. I guess
That's
it was a heck of an infatuation.
hey, so before we go to comments or questions from the group, I start all the questions. If you guys have more questions, please feel to ask Vinny. Um, and it doesn't have to be concerning just what we're talking about, just anything you want with Vinny. But to ask you that advice for others. So obviously, all of us are struggling in some aspect, whether it be mental illness or whether it be financial or something. All of us are going through something. So what advice do you give them, especially for those that have to be strong all the time? They feel like they have to be strong all the time.
That's the first thing I would say. Don't feel like you have to be strong. You
Yeah.
don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to be strong all the time, and you have to find whatever it is, whoever it is, and wherever it is that you can be vulnerable and just let it go. And I don't mean it doesn't even have to be some full-blown confession type conversation. I mean the kind of conversation where you can just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's even if that's talking about something completely different that just takes you completely away from it. Do something, say something, talk to someone that lets you just let it go. It doesn't take a lot to let you catch a breath. And it's
Yeah.
amazing what catching just that one breath sometimes will do.
So how do you break down that barrier? Because it's so much easier for me and you to say, hey, just talk to your wife, be open, be vulnerable, talk to your children, talk to someone. Now the people, everyone in the chat and everything like that, they understand. They have shared a lot of cool things in the chat, all that kind of stuff. But for those who are going to listen later, what are like it's not easy to open up the first time.
Nope. Nope, it's
Matter
not.
of fact, the first couple of times I was opening up, I hurt Candace's feelings to the point
Well,
because I was bad at it. I was really, really bad at it. Like I
yeah,
was telling her how I felt, and she took on culpability. I'm like, this is not you. Like, but I was explaining it in such a way where she thought this was all on her fault. And I'm like, no, you know what I mean? And it's just like
yeah,
I don't think us men have been trained how to communicate our feelings,
we
and so
haven't.
it's scary.
We haven't. We're told not to.
Oh,
You know,
100%
and
we are.
it's not even necessarily like you're told from your parents or this. It's just it's a society. It's everywhere. You know, you're supposed to be this tough guy who keeps your own crap to yourself and just pushes through it because that's what you're supposed to do. And you know, I don't think that there is such a thing as hitting a spot. And I can't speak on what a woman goes through, but I know as a man, I don't think there's a spot you can be in, no matter how much money you make or no matter how much you do for your family, that you won't feel that pressure, that you won't feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you're just not doing enough or you're not enough, you're not a good enough father, a husband, provider, protector, whatever it is, it weighs really heavy on you sometimes. And I think that's just again part of what's ingrained in us for probably as far back as men go.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know, and
also think,
as far as that thing about opening up, if you're not someone who feels like you can talk to someone that whether it be your wife or your kids, your parents, or whatever the case is, try doing it anonymously. Go into there's there's hundreds of different groups where you don't have to go on as Tyson. You can go on as John 123 and
I've done
you
that. No,
know
I'm just joking.
just start West. I mean seriously though, just and you
Mhm.
just start getting out. You can come into one of these under anything you want. It doesn't have to be you, and just have a conversation. And I think that's a good way to get used to putting yourself out there.
You know what I found out today? I know this is
What's
just
that?
putting yourself out there today. You just said putting yourself out. I found out like one of the most popular haunted houses here in Utah is called 13th on Elm Street or something like that. It's on 13th Street in Salt Lake. Anyway, therapists actually, when they diagnose with depression or an introvert or some sort of on the spectrum or something like that, they say, hey, go work for the haunted house. Because then they put a
Hmm.
mask on, they can be someone else, they can do something else, and then that breaks them free, and so that they can be them, and they
Yeah,
say it works. It's like after the haunted house is over, like they're just different people because they're like, oh, this is what it feels like.
that's actually really cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I just found that out today. I'm like, that is way cool.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely that's really cool. I never
But
thought of something like that, but I guess it's kind of the same concept, you know. Like I said, you can go into something like that, and you don't have to be you, you know.
my dad only showed anger and occasional laughs. See, and that's what this is what I wanted to say with this is what he says is so important to me that my kids don't see this, that I am judging myself. And I feel like a lot of us judge each like we look at, hey, Vinny's killing it as a dad. I wish I could be a dad like him. But I can't be a dad like you. You've gone through your own experiences. You have your own,
Yeah,
own personality. Like I am never going to be an NBA basketball player, so I can't give that to my kids. But guess what?
yeah.
I can be me. I can shoot hoops with you and all that kind of stuff, but I'm never going to be able to tell you how to do something. You know what I mean? And
I'll
so,
tell you what.
yeah,
That whole the what you just said, as far as looking at somebody else and what they can give or be or whatever, that is one of the greatest downfalls in society,
yeah,
because we have all this social media, and social media can be a great thing if it's used the right way.
agreed.
But if you're someone who goes on and looks at someone else's life on social media and thinks, man, why can't I have that life, or why can't I do this, or why can't I do that, like, you're crazy, dude. You really think that that's their life? It's not.
No,
It's not at all. That's the highlights of their life. Nobody wants to post all their BS, their crap. That's not entertaining. That's not this or that. You know what I mean? It's not. That's just not what it is. And that's
gossip
that's a
sells.
big. Oh, I mean, for real, it does.
Mhm.
But it's why, if you look at my Instagram, I don't put anything personal on Instagram. It's strictly working out. I have one personal post ever, outside of, because I will say the things like the charity stuff are very personal.
That was a
Um,
really cool experience for us to be a part of. Thank you.
Thank you, dude. Seriously, that was amazing. That stuff obviously is personal, but I mean, as far as like putting my family life out there, or my day to day outside of anything but the gym, my social media is 100% just training, nothing more. There's a reason for that. I don't need the world in my personal life. I just don't. It's my personal life. That's why it's called personal life.
Yeah.
And I can't honestly say that, I look at whoever's social media and is like, oh yeah, man, I wish I could do that or have that or whatever else, because they have the same struggle and the same BS. I don't care if they're millionaires or, struggling to pay their light bill. There's we all face the same stuff.
We do. I think that was really well said. Um, like I was just,
Well, you got to hear that firsthand today,
I
like you were
did.
saying
And a
earlier.
guy who's a multi-billionaire who struggles. And man, he's going to be on the podcast. Everyone will eventually get to know who he is. Are you frozen? Did we lose you? Vinny? Okay, looks like we lost him for a second. But guys, if you have any questions for Vinny for when he pops back in, let me know. Just we'll hurry and do that. Right now, I just have one from Garrett. But yeah, guys, we don't necessarily have to talk about this. This is just what's really on our minds tonight. And I appreciate Vinny for telling us exactly what's going on in his life. Like he's being vulnerable, and I think that's very honorable. And uh, so I've learned some stuff about him that's just been amazing, and it makes me even like him even more. So, and then again, guys, if you've noticed scrolling on the bottom, if you guys use tackle 15, or no, just tackle, you'll save 15% off. But when you do that, you'll be entered in. I will put in a product of Copper Johns in that tackle box. And when you do receive it, or when you do order, I'll put your name on a will. And at the very end, when that tackle box is full of Copper Johns products, someone will have that one. What's up?
Well, I don't know what that was about.
Hey, it happens, man. That's why I said my battery heats up. Like,
What do you keep saying? Live happens live.
live happens live. It's just like there's nothing you can do about it. That's what about the podcast. Like every now and then, like I went off on a tangent. Like I went off on a tangent, and it wasn't like me. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have to take that out, guys.
You know what though? I mean, that's a lot of times that's the kind of stuff people want to hear. it's raw.
Yeah,
And I think
but
that's
this was more personal, and I didn't want to.
gotcha.
I didn't want to embarrass anyone in my personal life, and so, like you said, sometimes I'm more than willing to share stuff, but sometimes it's not my
Yeah,
story to share.
understood. And I definitely, like I said, I keep my personal life personal, but this is definitely the most I think I've ever said.
I was just telling everyone
Uh,
how amazing you guys are doing it.
I will not lie. There is a different animal inside of me right now, freaking out a little bit. I'm not gonna
Well, you know how
don't
I
let me
know
fool
everyone's
you
liking
into.
it? No one's commenting, but people are watching.
You know what? And I wanted to comment earlier on comments and people who are saying hello. First of all, thank you for everyone who came in, and hello to everyone who has commented and stuff. I keep trying to look up and read the comments, and I realize that I probably look ridiculous if I'm sitting here like this. So I just anything that you don't put on the screen, I'm not seeing. So if anybody has said anything, hello, this, that, or the third, I do apologize. I promise I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to stay present.
No, yeah, I appreciate that. And Miles, I completely agree. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more with your story today and what you've shared. What do you hope we can all apply to your, or, into our lives, and what the takeaway for your story is?
Be more open. Be more open, and don't wait until it's a problem. And I think that's where a lot of people end up is um, they end up waiting until it's too late. And I don't mean too late as far as maybe it's they end up gone or anything of that nature, but um, just perhaps it ruins a marriage or ruins a relationship between a child or um, just again just be more open. Don't wait till it's too late.
That's hard, isn't it? Because when
It
you
is.
are in that, so
Yeah, you don't see it when you're in it
no, I wish.
because to you you're like you don't want to put that on somebody else.
Well, it's not even that. So forget my. I'm thinking something different. So forgive me, but when you are
Mm-mm.
in so much pain, and you are just don't know what to do, you'll have people who will harm themselves, like cut
Yep.
themselves and stuff. And that's to the point because they have so much pain that the physical pain is better than this
Oh,
emotional pain they're
100%.
going through. And so when you
100%.
have someone who is in that much pain, they are done.
Yep.
And so when you have that, there's nothing that I can say, there's nothing that I can do. But you know what? But what we can do is be there. And we can camp out in front
Absolutely.
of your door. We can. No, I'm dead serious. Like I've done this. And camped out in front of your door, or we can go in your room and give you a huge hug, even if you say no. I don't care. I'm
Hmm.
doing it. I'm going to
Of
let you
course.
know I love you,
Yeah.
and because I'm going to give you that physical contact that you might not want, but guess what? You're getting it. And
Right.
because, dude, when you're in that that mindset, there's absolutely nothing you can do because you can lead a
There.
horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
Absolutely. I think there's on the other side of that there's so much um that we maybe overthink. um you don't think about it, but something as simple as just reaching out every day saying hey,
Dude, you did that
hey,
when I was
you
struggling.
you do yeah.
You
Yeah.
literally did it for about a month and a half. And
Yeah.
then I felt
And
you as a friend. I dead
until
serious. I felt that. I felt when you told me, I felt like I failed you.
no, not at all. Not at all. See, one of the biggest differences was, you kind of told me what was going on, and until you really had talked to me and let me know that you'd kind of gotten a grip on things and things were moving in the right direction, and then I was like, okay, now I don't want to bother the guy. Everything's
I
cool,
promise you, you never would have bothered me.
But yeah, you didn't know. There's a difference. I didn't come to you and say, hey man, uh, X, Y, and Z. Not until it was already really full
Now
swing.
you have a problem, Vinny. You've opened up. You are
Yeah.
going to be. You're opening up forever now. It just happens. It's just it's like you shake a can of Coke and it just explodes, and now you're screwed. Now you're just like, now you're just going to cry everywhere you. I'm just joking.
Yeah. Well, I'm not much of a crier, so if it happens, be worried.
You're amazing, man. So what's your future like? So what are your goals moving forward and in personal life and bodybuild, not bodybuilding, in power why can't I Brian
Strong
Shaw,
man.
strongman. Like it's not power man. What am I thinking here?
Yeah, right.
Like what's going on, man?
I as far as that goes, I just need to get back in there. Like I said, since the bicep, I just haven't had that same. I don't know. There's like a mental block one that I don't want it to, because again, it's just can't really afford that in my life between work and the family, and just I don't want to deal with that again. I don't want my wife or kids to have to deal with that again either, because it's a pain in the butt. Like I said, you don't really think about the things that you can't do,
Yeah.
until you can't do them. Just something as easy as picking your kid up or carrying a laundry basket upstairs. Um, so there's that part of it, and for some reason, that has really kept. Even when I got back out there a few
It's hard
times,
to
it just
trust.
it didn't. It just didn't feel the same. You know, it didn't feel the same. But that is probably my biggest goal with that is to really put myself back in it. Just maybe not to the level of trying to compete. Just do it for myself and what it does for me while I'm in there doing it.
I love that, man. Yeah. And you need a
Get
break and a
jacked.
vacation. Yeah. No, mine. I just want to shrink. So I've done a
I
lot of
need to go the
diet
other
work.
way.
Huh?
I need to go the other way. I need to go the other way. I've not been this light in as long as I can remember.
If I can get like I don't have a goal weight, but I remember like they're like basically it's like you have 230 pounds of mass, and so if I can get to 260, that's me at like 12%. I think I'd be happy, really happy at 260.
So that's normally about where I sit, somewhere between there in that range.
Yeah,
And right now I'm like bouncing between 213 and 215, which
yeah.
is crazy. I feel tiny.
It's a widow guy.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I got the gun show still.
So what legacy do you want to leave behind? What legacy do you want to leave behind to your future posterity? Just for me, thinking of Vinny, what do you want us to think about? Like when we think of you, what do you want us to think about? Like what do you hope that we do?
Big heart, man. Be kind. Help.
I think that's what we
Be
all think.
real. Be real. Be forward. I I'm a really big advocate of saying what you think. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever. Just I say how it is. And that's actually one of the hardest things about being on your show is I have to really I curse like a sailor. So every other word
I
out of my mouth is
appreciate
the
it.
F bomb. So I have to really pay attention when I'm talking to you.
Yeah, we've done some game nights where I've had to make it private because I'm like Marvin.
Yeah, so okay, so Marvin knows what's up.
Yeah, no,
It's
like
just one
really,
of those things, man.
everyone has that inside joke. It's like Marvin. Yes, he's just like, dude,
Hmm.
come on, keep it G. PG-13, but let's not go further
Yep.
than that. But I
Yeah.
love that. I love that because I think everyone like Gary said right at the very beginning is like he's like we're giving, but then there's Vinny who will take like here's the thing that I've noticed about you is you will help someone and you don't care about having the recognition. You just want to help.
Well, no,
And that
that's not what you're helping somebody for.
no, but there's a lot of people out there who will want to record it. They will want to
uh,
post it. They'll want that notoriety of I help someone, and that's
nah.
not you.
That's
And
well,
I
see,
think
that's
that's huge.
that's when you have to ask yourself, is that the same thing? Because I don't think it is.
Yeah.
That's maybe that person still, got what they needed out of it.
Just so everyone's aware, Vinny didn't ask me to do a live for that little boy and his heart. It was me. I wanted to
Yeah,
get you guys
which is
involved
why I
to
keep
help.
telling you, like, you
No,
definitely
because you didn't
changed what
want the
that
notoriety.
was.
Wow, my voice just cracked. I'm going through
Yeah, it
puberty.
did.
You didn't want the notoriety. You just wanted to help someone, and I'm like, we're going to ask people. I've never done this before. I've never asked, and I'm like, we're going to
Well,
ask
you
people.
you definitely you killed it, man. I can't tell you how much I
No, they
appreciate
did.
that.
They killed it, and everyone who was a part of it killed it. So, dude, we have some more questions, but before I'm going to ask my last question, and then I have 3 questions for you from the audience, and then they can
Okay.
continue asking in the chat. But all of us respect you. All of us love you. All of us are really excited that you were here, that you shared a little bit about who you are. And I don't know about you, but it does make me feel closer to you.
100%.
And because of that, I think a lot of people want, some encouraging words of wisdom from Vinny. And you
Oh,
talked about
man.
being open, you talked about being vulnerable, talked about, helping others. What's your final words of helping or of encouragement of wisdom from Vinny?
Don't suck.
I love it.
Oh no, seriously, and other than like I said, really trying to be open, be forward, be yourself. Yeah. um
I think we just end it right there. That was perfect.
yeah, for real. Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
man.
seriously. I didn't. My voice hasn't cracked like that. I don't remember the last time.
Right? It's not like a
Dude,
13-year-old.
I have seriously. It was outside from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. and
Good Lord.
I think I drank probably 2.5 gallons of water today,
Jesus.
and I peed like once in the morning. I'm just like I think it's just like crazy dehydrated. Okay,
Jeez.
so we have 3 questions. 2 from
All
Miles,
right.
1 from Garrett. First one, Vinny, who is your idol for strongman since that is your path of fitness? I remember talking, but I can't remember. I know who it is because it's mine
100%
too.
Brian Shaw. Yep.
Yeah, it's mine too.
100% Brian Shaw. He is, not only is he truly one of like the kindest humans on the planet, but just to look at him as a strongman, the dude is, in my opinion, the best strongman to ever walk the face of the planet.
And he's just a good human.
He really is. He
Yeah, he's
really is.
just a good human.
Dude goes
And
above and beyond.
I met, like I said, Brandon Confusi today, and he's like almost 7 foot. He played center, and then he played for the Ravens and as a defensive end, then for the Jets, and then for Green Bay. And
Nice.
I met him today, and I'm like, JC College, NFL, because he's freaking towering. It's like me and Brian Shaw. It's just like there's a difference between elite athletes and and
Yeah,
that's why,
well, if it's not that crazy of an individual, I doubt there's many people that make you look small because you're a big dude.
dude. Yeah, dude. He was. I'm like, dude, he's so big. I was just like, when I met Brian Shaw, I was like, my wife looked at me. She's like, you look like a little schoolboy. Like how excited I was, like seeing
For
Santa Claus the
real.
first time. I'm
Yep.
like, because he's
I was the
awesome.
same way. I was the same way. Only I looked like a little kid.
I was like at his nipples.
Yeah, I don't even think I was that. I wasn't anywhere close to that. I looked like I could have been his son, but with a beard.
Oh, look what Michael said. Mike said, I just won tickets to the Brian Shaw event next weekend. Should be interesting.
Nice.
That would be
It
cool.
is awesome. I didn't get to see it when it was at the size that it is now, but I did go in 21, maybe 22. And I can't remember what year it was, but it was awesome, man. It was so awesome.
Yeah, he went to the, like I said, the Salt Lake Expo when he was here. All right, and then I met him at Las Vegas, the Olympia, a couple times too.
Nice.
You know who I really thought was really fun and interesting to meet was what is is his name? He used to work for Civation as a thing, and now he owns his own company. He's huge on. He has 2 PhDs, and they're on. What the freak is his name?
I'm
Lane.
not sure who you're talking about.
I'll have to. I'll have to find it. But he has 2 PhDs in like leucine and betamine and all that. Like that's his
Hmm.
dissertation, like all that kind of stuff and how it affects the body. It's really cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. You'll have to tell me later when you figure it out.
Yeah, it's always when I want to know. My mind's like a parachute, works best when it's open. Ooh, that's a really good quote.
Yeah.
I was like, just like, uh, what is it? I'm irritated. I don't know the name.
Once you stop
Miles,
thinking about it, it'll come to you.
yeah. Time crunch workout. Give me 3 great movements, obviously not on the same day. 3 movements for shoulders, chest, legs, back.
3 movements for each one. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like push, pull, full body, anyway, and always go to failure. So he's asking, like, do you go to failure? This might be like a
No,
side
actually,
conversation, all that kind of stuff.
yeah. So that's there is a lot to unwrap there, but I will say this to that question. And Miles, if you answer the question I just asked, as
Oh,
far
you
as
want
your
me to go
time
through it?
crunch workout, I just don't know if you mean like 3 workouts for each part or
Yeah, I
what.
think 3 great movements for shoulders, then chest, then legs, then back.
Gotcha. I gotcha. I will
That's a lot.
say it is, but we'll just simplify it really quick. If you are only going to do 3 movements for each body part, make sure
Not
you're
enough.
using free weights and make sure that when you do it, you are whatever you're doing, make sure you're doing enough volume, whether that be heavy enough to really stimulate for strength or enough reps to really get some growth out of it.
So how many reps or sets do you do usually? I usually do 24 to 27.
Sets.
Uh-huh. No,
Um,
not on one, but not on one lift, but overall, like I'll do like
right, right.
maybe 5, 6 different lifts, but I'll do 24 to 27 sets total combined.
For me, it depends on what I'm doing.
Okay.
So like, let's just say if I'm going out there to do like an actual shoulder day or something, I'm probably in that range. Um, Working sets. I do a lot. I don't count like warm up sets, but I don't do traditional warm ups either. I don't, I don't go out there and stretch and then uh, work bands on my shoulders and whatever else. Now I preach that I do because I think it prevents injury. At not the stretching part. I don't think you should stretch before you train. Um, but as far as like let's say I'm doing a shoulder press, if I go out, I will start, throw 135 on, do a set of 15, bump up to 185, do a set of 10, bump up to 200, do another set of 10, and then I'll go to whatever my working is going to set's going to be, whether it's 250, whatever, and then I start my working sets there, and I'll try to push for at least 8 to 10, and then usually once I'm good and fatigued, that's when I'll push whatever the heaviest weight I can for about 3 reps. Now that's on a typical time. If I'm pushing for um, trying to push a big weight day, it would be a completely different ballgame.
What
I would
about
step
me?
up.
Oh, I'm
What do
so
you mean?
sorry. Continue.
No, no,
Just
no.
continue. What about
I'd
me?
I'd I'd step up in singles.
I no, this is me being selfish and taking Vinny time. Um,
No, no, no.
I don't want to be big. I've always been big. I've always been the big guy. Like I'm talking about muscle wise, when my bodybuilding days, my strongman days, powerlifting days. But I'm kind of over it. I just want to go hiking and not want to die. You know what I mean? Like today destroyed me when we did the full body workout, no weights, cardio for an hour of just all manual. Dude, I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but it taught me that I'm doing it wrong in my mind. Like I'm 44. It's time for me to start decreasing my body weight
Hmm.
and I know it's
Well,
diet.
that's
I
I was
know
gonna say
there's
that
a
starts
lot
with
of diet.
calories.
I know that's diet, but also in the gym, like all I know is heavy. All I know is heavy.
So think about what you do and just scale it back slightly.
But I
So, and
hate it.
when I say that, no, but see, listen, you're gonna give yourself a kind of the same stimulation, but you're gonna do it differently. So, I mean, if you're going in there and you're trying to, you know, bench 405, and you're only hitting, lower number of reps, drop it down to 350, and
Mhm.
instead of doing 8 reps, do 12 to 15. Hypertrophy is anything over 5 and anything under 30, technically speaking.
So if I'm
So
doing 20, 30 reps, that's I should
I
be
don't
more
I
than
don't
that.
I don't agree with that,
Okay.
actually, to be honest with you. I'm just
I don't
saying
know. I
that's
don't know.
the range is huge. I think you're more beneficial to stay in the 12 to 15 range and up the weight. If you're doing 20 reps or something, do a little bit more weight, start to fail, around 10, get to 12. If you're hitting the 15 number, I would bump it up just a little bit more. I always try to aim, if I'm trying to stay in that 10 to 12 range, 10 to 15 range, I always try to push my weight up until I start to fail around 10 and would get sloppy after 12.
I like that. Yeah, because I still can go heavy. Like I said, like this is the first time I've lifted in probably this year. I started again, and I'm sitting here doing shoulder press. I'm like, crap. I don't want
Yeah.
to hurt myself, but I'm doing 225 shoulder press. Just sitting at the thing, just doing 225 free weight, and I'm just like,
Are you doing seated?
yeah. And
You
see, I've done
wanna
standard, and people don't believe me when I do it. And I'm like, no, I can do a standard. I have no problem with
Yeah.
that.
So when you do it standing though, you should fatigue a little more,
I do.
because you have to stabilize yourself a lot more when you're standing.
You feel it in your
So that
stomach a lot, and I have to
Well, yeah,
focus on
because
my lower
that
back
that's where that's where you're using to keep yourself stable. So
because it makes my butt
um
pop, and so then I feel a little strain on my lower back right there. So I have to focus on that.
but it should be easier for you at that point to say, okay, let me dial it back a little bit and maybe do just 195. And also another thing with that is, let's say you're doing 225 and you can do it for 15 and you can do that for 6 7 sets, but you feel it, you really feel it on the joints or
Oh, it
whatever the case
burns.
is.
Don't get me wrong, it burns.
Start doing things timed. So instead of going to 195 and being able to do 30 reps, go to 195, push, and then do like a 3-second drop. Push, 3-second
Ooh.
drop. So when you start doing timed eccentrics and stuff like that, it makes a big difference because you're going to fatigue a
What's your
lot
thoughts
faster.
on intervals for
Eh,
cardio? Okay.
so if you look at things like hit versus steady state,
Yeah.
um, calories in the high minute versus calorie in the low minute. You take all those and add them up to what you get in a solid steady state cardio, and it comes out to about the same. It's a heck of a lot easier on the body. Um,
what is your oh sorry, keep going. I'm listening.
I think where people fail in steady state is they think that means just like a slow leisure walk on a treadmill. You shouldn't be able to have a conversation, but you shouldn't be dying.
You know what? I'm not. This is embarrassing. I did the stair stepper, and I did it in the video, like the movie place, the movie cinema place, and I did the stair stepper because it's dark. I'm in the back, no one can see me, and I have my iWatch on, and I'm at like 3 pace, so it's done.
I'm telling you right now, the stairs, in
And
my opinion, are
freaking
the best
destroyed.
way to go.
That's why I do it. But
The
my
best way
heart
to
rate
go.
was like at 160, and I'm like, I just started.
It's
Like,
it's low impact. You don't have to go really fast, and you
it
could
works your legs too.
crush yourself.
Oh, I love it.
You could crush yourself on it.
I just hate doing it in front of people. Even when I was doing my bodybuilding, during my weight loss and all that, I was losing. You know how it works with bodybuilding. Like you start losing
Hmm.
the last month, you're losing probably 10, 15 pounds a day or a
Oh
week.
yeah.
It's not healthy. Like you get up and you go
No,
pee.
no,
You
yeah,
get
it's
up
not
and
at
go
all.
pee like 100 times during the day because you're just like burning like everything. Um,
Hmm.
but I still wouldn't want to do it in front of people. I'm weird. I'm self-conscious.
That's why I have my own gym.
Dude, I love that though. Love that for you. Shaky Billy. He's lost 150 pounds, man.
Wow, that's awesome.
No, 200s this week. That is amazing. So he's lost.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
really cool.
Heck yeah. That is awesome, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Vinny is in his element. See the value and knowledge to bring to so many ways. Love it. See, everyone loves you, man. I was able to lift 2 pounds with my arm on Friday. See, she got
Nice.
shoulder surgery.
Yeah, I remember.
Man, Vinny and I could go on about all gym stuff. Melissa always tells me if I live closer to Vinny that we would get. Yeah, so Vinny,
Oh, 100%. I have no
Melissa
doubt.
and Garrett are personal trainers, or they were.
Yep. Yep, I have no doubt.
I can just ask you so many things, but I won't. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. And
Likewise, brother.
I just so you guys know, my wife needs me tonight, and I was gone all day today, so I can't do the conversation with the community tonight. I had to cancel it. It is. I'm sorry. But they want us to keep going. But Vinny's got to wake up at 4.
Yeah, 4 a.m. comes early, man.
It really does. Why do you get at least overtime?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was like, dude, you better get something out of this.
Yeah, if I was salary, I don't think I'd be doing it.
Yeah, I remember, like you were looking and all of a sudden, boom, now you're working like thousands of hours, I swear.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But
that's cool though.
It is what it is, yeah.
But everyone, dead serious, Vinny. Like if you're ever
100%.
feeling down, I know this when you're feeling down, this stuff doesn't help. But we're here for you and we love you, man. And the world's better because you're around. It really is. I'm not just saying that to say that. You sexy son of a
Yeah, you tell all the girls that, don't you?
No. I don't talk to any girls. I told Candace, I'm like, if for some odd reason, like one of us passes away, like, or this hypothetically Candace passes away, I'm just like, I don't think I would be able to date. I wouldn't know how to talk to someone.
I kind of feel the same way sometimes, honestly.
Yeah, I'm just like, and plus 6 kids, no one wants to date me anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Bill Kazmaier?
Yeah, Bill Kazmaier. He is one of the freakiest dudes ever. He's old school strongman.
Okay.
In fact, he was one of the most dominant guys there ever was. They did I can't remember what year it was, but the end of the event, he was so far ahead that nobody can catch him. So they changed the rules and like quadrupled the point value.
Oh, really?
So somebody had a chance to try and yeah. And actually then after that, they I don't remember how they wrapped it around this, but they like banned him from competing. He was too good. He just dominated everybody. Total freak of nature.
All right, side note. We when we go to Louisiana, we're going noodling. You're getting in the water with me. We're going to see who can catch the biggest catfish.
Oh, okay.
Bill's the announcer strongman. Okay, I know who you're talking about. The curly haired dude.
He is whenever you watch Giants Live, he's on there. He's on Arnold. He does the Arnold, I believe, too.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a freak. Watch the movie Commissioner of Power. It's not about him. It's about Terry Todd, but it goes into a lot of Kazmaier.
What is a Marvel character? I'm Thor. Oh, so dumb. Awesome. All right. Well, you need to go to bed, and I just
100%.
I could easily do this all night with you. Just like you're one.
Yeah, it's definitely it goes a little too easy, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. there's only a couple people that I could just do this all night, and you're one of them, and Logan is one of them, and I don't, yeah, it's just cool. Like, I don't know, just
Absolutely.
a lot of stuff. But anyway, do you have anything else to say before we go?
Man, just I appreciate y'all. I
Don't
really do.
suck.
Yeah, don't suck.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm still waiting to see that on the shirt, by the way.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful night, guys. Appreciate you, Vinny. See you guys.
Yes, sir.